Hello and welcome to Dario Comics, and today I make a video about how to stay healthy so you can produce great comics. Why I make this video, why it is so important to stay healthy and happy to make great comics. Well, a week ago I found out that my friend and mentor Ralf Niese died suddenly with a heart attack or stroke, I don't know really. Watch the previous video for that. Yeah, he's a great artist, he taught me everything I know. And I have to say I struggled with my health also the last years, and also previous to that. And I will give you some general advice how to stay healthy to make comics, because making comics and making a living with comics can be very taxing on your body, on your mind, on your stress levels, because I don't want to exaggerate, but let's say you're always sitting, you're always producing, you're always drawing, you're always trying to make cash with what you do. And we live in great times, it is possible, and sometimes you want it too early. So for me, it's not only producing comics, it's also making illustrations, it's also teaching at schools and workshops. So I have a pool how I can make my money. But in the long term, like, it will always be teaching, it will always be commission work, and it will always be comics, but I want it to be more. So you have to hone your craft, and that means putting in the hours. And I will take a holistic look on this, because you need really to have a full picture of everything. And I call this health, wealth and love. You need all three, and this have different aspects. Like, you need to have a certain wealth and security, where you're living, how do you pay for this. You need a certain income to live with it and also have fun with it, to be able to experience life. You need family, friends and love. If you don't have it, you should at least strive for it and have a goal to achieve it or have it one day in your life. And also you need a healthy body and a healthy spirit and mind. And sometimes, I guess, as an artist or comic artist, you can get overworked because you're like sitting all day. Maybe you're not getting enough movement. Like my friend, he was 37. He was not obese. He was a pretty strong guy, as I recall it. But he died of heart attack. I know you can say, okay, that can happen to anybody, but and it can. But I also am I am a great advocate of cause and effect, and I watched my own health problems, and most health problems came from like energy problems and bit of heart problems, digestive problems, and they came from like constant stress to deliver, constant working, constantly drawing on this table, skipping workouts due to deadlines, eating unhealthy due to stress relief, vegging out in the evenings, and that leads to some bad things, because if you're unhealthy and unhappy, you're unable to produce those dream comics you have in your head. And I want you to put them all out, because like Ralf Niese was a great artist, but he had so much more to give, and if he would be still here for the next 30 years, he would deliver some great fucking comics and artwork. So let's try to keep that in mind. And I touch on all these aspects because they're very important. So like I had some days where I would just stand up, eat, go for a walk, and then work, and then at the evenings, I don't know, I wouldn't do much, and I got very lethargic, and I wasn't eating healthy. And now my life is, if I go dance, like COVID this year fucked everything up, but that's okay. But if I go dance and I meet interesting people and I'm living and feel alive, like the next day, I'm so pumped to go back to work, because like I tasted life and it tasted good, and so I want to put it on the page, and I say yes to life. And so it's make it a priority to work out, to move your body, to keep your blood flowing, because if you don't move your blood, if you don't move your lymph system, if you don't move your mind and body through the world and have a pump, that's not good. You cannot act. Don't overeat. I know sometimes I'm not a fat guy. I'm pretty skinny, but sometimes I overeat because like something in my life is missing, and I'm trying to make up with salty foods, greasy foods, sweet foods. Even though you could be also overeating or overstuffing your face in healthy food. And so keep that in mind. Try to be honest to yourself and to create a system that's really works for you, so life works for you. And it's not that easy, because now we're factoring in other things, like what's the world doing, your parents, your friends, your intimate partner. Like if you have an intimate partner, if you have love in your life, I see okay, I try to keep it at a 10-minute mark. If you have a love partner in your life, like that it should nourish you, it should give you excitement and awesomeness. It won't stay that way, like it's always like problems always will arise, but as long as you're having more fun than frustration, life is good. And as long as your parents, like sometimes parents and family and friends play a great role. If you have supportive friends and a supportive family, it can go a long way. For most of us, I don't know, I don't want to be negative, but for most of us, like everybody's fucked up. Like, I'm just trying to be honest with you, like, I think everybody in the world is fucked up. It's because how we're raised and how we think things should be and how things really are, and then we're shocked when they turn out bad. But after a certain point, you start to figure out what's really what, and what works and what doesn't, and what's just a false pretense. And yeah, don't be fooled by an image. Like if something resonates with you, that's great. But sometimes behind that facade, there's nothing. And sometimes there's something. And I'm not somebody who says like things should be ugly, and behind the ugly thing, it's something beautiful. No. I believe that truth is beauty and beauty is truth. I believe that. But there are varying degrees of that. Like, don't oversimplify it. But most of us, like my parents or my mother, is very supportive, but she's 80 to 90% a really critical and fearful person. So that's not the best environment, but that's why I started this channel. So, and that's why I started my comics, to illuminate what's shitty. And my health was also very shitty. I had dermatitis all my life and different issues, and it all stems from psychological pressure that then goes into your body through different things, behaviors you do. So it's really that simple. Like, I would say that every ailment on your body, like, look what it is. You can heal it with food, or with just fasting, or with just moving, walking, going towards what really serves you and gives you a good pump. It's really important that blood flows freely through your body. And that is what traditional Chinese medicine always says. When you have pain, it's mostly because something cannot flow. and that goes also for life. The third point, you need cash. And sometimes, like I'm starting out, I'm pretty fresh at doing comics, like the last years, and illustrations. And now I'm getting into acrylic painting on canvas, and down the road I will go into oil painting and painting on aquarelles. And it's really cool, and it opens new ways to earn money, to make commissions for people and bands, and that's really great. So it's really important that you feel secure. If you can, you should. That you have enough income, that you can allocate some of that money to put on aside for the hard and rainy days, but also something to have fun with. So that's a really good point. I have a book that's called, I have many books, but, well, I don't remind. But it's a good book. I will link it down below as soon as I will remember it. But the one thing the book takes away is that you should make time for rest and play. And you should make time for workouts. So work shouldn't consume your life. Like I had days where I did only work for very many days in a row, and then I felt depleted. And you should always work your day out that suits you, and then in the hours you have nothing to do, put in the work. Work in these hours. And fight for these hours, like as if the devil is running behind you, and maybe he is. So this is why I'm making this video now. I'm not perfectly prepared, but if I don't do it now, maybe I don't do it because I die or I'm lazy. So I do it now, and then I will improve. Well, I hope you stay healthy and happy. Look at everything that's bringing you pain in your life. Try to figure out how you can do it better. And I'm happy and glad to see what awesome comics you will produce the next years. See you.